Raise your hand if you've ever thought, I'm too old to start X. I know it can feel that way, but whenever I start leaning into that, and sometimes I do, I have to flip the script. I use these 3 tiny shifts, so let's walk through them. Shift number 1, the 5-year rule. Now, I actually first heard about this years and years ago, and it was more like a 10-year rule. A 50-year-old woman had always wanted to be a doctor, but now that her life circumstances finally allowed it, she felt too old. She told her friend, I would love to be a doctor, but if I go to medical school for 10 years, I'll be 60 when I finally get done. Her friend said, you'll be 60 in 10 years no matter what. You can be a 60-year-old doctor or a 60-year-old not doctor. Which do you want? Bringing it back to a 5-year plan, ask yourself, where will I be in 5 years if I start today? And where will I be if I don't? For example, let's say you want to learn Spanish. Starting at 50, you can be fluent at 55. Don't start at 50, you can be completely non-fluent at 55. You can still be taco, burrito, enchilada, like I am. So here's a quick story. When I was 39 years old, I had just had my last baby, and a friend from high school called me and said, hey, Allison, let's run a marathon. And I was like, you know, I just had a baby, right? She said, I know, but we'll do it to celebrate turning 40. It'll be great. I don't even like running. But here's the thing. Right after I had my first daughter at 23, I saw a newspaper article about the St. George Marathon. And it had 5 moms who ran the marathon pushing baby strollers. And I looked at that and I thought, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know moms could run marathons. I thought it was only ultra super athletes and stuff. But when I saw that, I thought, someday I'm gonna run a marathon. Now, why I put something on my bucket list that I'm so averse to is beyond me, but I did. And it was still there. And after Jill called me, I blame you, Jill. I thought, if I don't do this when I'm turning 40, when am I ever gonna do it? When I'm turning 50, when I'm turning 60, am I ever gonna do this? So I agreed. And I spent the next few months doing the Runner's World Marathon Training course. When race day came, and I used the term race very, very loosely, all the participants, and I will not say runners, I'll just say participants, met at the entry point, and we loaded on buses to drive to the starting point of the race. As the bus went on and on and on, every 30 seconds the bus kept driving, I got more and more nervous. I thought, what have I done? What have I done? This is insane. Finally, we got to the starting point. I thought, how am I ever gonna, on my legs, get back to where we started? But I was there, and so I was committed. So as the participants are all milling around at the starting point, I kind of moved toward the back of the pack because I was not gonna even pretend that I was gonna be anywhere in any kind of category of anything. So I moved way to the back of the pack before the starting time. And there was a woman there that I kind of started up a little conversation with. Now, I will be super honest. I was concerned about this woman. Looking back, I would guess she was probably 55-ish. She was very short and very wide. And I was actually literally concerned for her health. I thought, oh honey, like I'm concerned about this, but I'm more concerned about you. Like, are you gonna be okay? And I didn't say that, but I was like, oh my goodness, honey. When the race started, since we were together, we just kind of started out together and we're chatting a little bit because we're not serious runners, we're just chatters. So we're chatting a little bit, and then I noticed she had this jacket on, and I said, oh, tell me about your jacket. This woman that I was so concerned about was in a group called the 50 States Marathon Group or something like that, where the goal was to run a marathon in each one of the 50 states in the United States. And this particular marathon, the Top of Utah Marathon, was somewhere in like her 36th marathon. She was already in double digits of marathons, and I was worried about her. I completed the race without liver failure. That was my goal. But she was only a couple of minutes behind me. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge someone by their age. Don't judge yourself by your age. You can do things that you may not even imagine. And you might as well just get started. The longer you wait, the less opportunities you have. So just go do it. Shift number 2 is the micro win. Pick the smallest, tiniest possible action that proves you're actually in motion. You want to write a book? Go write a paragraph on your phone notes. Do you want to run a 5K? Run to your mailbox and back. Run to the corner and back. Run around the block. The brain only needs evidence, not perfection. I learned this years ago in Florida when I was at a church meeting, and the person speaking said, I want to challenge everyone here to read your scriptures for 15 seconds a day. Now, of course, everyone in the room laughed because we all expected 15 minutes or 15 chapters or something along those lines. And when he said 15 seconds, he was serious. But of course, think about it. If you only have to read your scriptures for 15 seconds, it's hard to make an excuse. But if you get out your scriptures and actually do the 15 seconds, well, at least you did something, but you'll probably do it longer. You probably, at least most days, will read longer, but you'll be in the habit of doing it because your brain already knows you've got momentum, and it loves momentum, and more than even motivation. Shift number 3 is to get the seasoned rookie mindset. Seasoned rookie. Rookies have energy. Seasoned people have wisdom and experience. You have both. So I want you to think about this. List 3 life skills you already have that the 25-year-old version of you did not. I know how to manage money, a house, and pretty much everything else way better than I did at 25. Way better. I have better perspective now than I did at 25. I know not every crisis is critical, and even bad luck can turn into an adventure if I let it. I did a vlog about that. I'll link it in the description. And I've survived every worst day ever so far. It's proof that ultimately I'm unbreakable. I'm still here. These are actually superpowers for any new goal. So write down your superpowers. You already have plenty. Maybe you just need to recognize them and build on them. Next time, but I'm too old, creeps in, run the 5-year rule, or take a micro win, or just flex your seasoned rookie muscles. You've got this. What's one thing you're just getting started on this week? Thanks for joining me in this midlife journey. Please subscribe, please, and leave a comment. Tell everybody what you're up to, what you hope to be up to, what you might be up to if you can get up the nerve, because you have the nerve. You've got it.